Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about the announcement of the Underwater Menace animation. I am very excited about this. I've actually run through a gauntlet of emotions since this has been announced. Now, we did get rumors going around about the Underwater Menace and the Smugglers animation coming back at the beginning of this year when Nicola for the Mira leaked it. And it looks like she's once again right. Nicola seems really on it with this. She has to know somebody on the inside. Hopefully that means the Smuggler's coming too. I am really happy that we're getting the animations going again. Underwater Menace seems like a really good one to do. I've never seen the Underwater Menace. I've been holding off on watching it to see if the rumors were true, and I'm really glad I've done that. It looks like the animation is going to be done in a similar style to the last few. I know people have said, was it Anne Marie Walsh or whatever her name is, with BBC Studios that worked on Faceless Ones, and Evil is involved. So it looks like that's probably who's doing it. And the models from the short trailer do look similar to the models from Evil. So that's good. I don't like that they're animating all 4 episodes. That seems unnecessary. I really would have preferred they just animated episodes 1 and 4 and just in black and white. Very similar to the Moon base. I would have preferred them to have used that Planet 55 style of animation. I do tend to like that better. It seems odd to me to animate all of a story that's half complete. It's half complete. I don't see why I would want to watch animated versions of half a story that doesn't need it. And there's the issue of this is a 2-disc set instead of a 3-disc set. And disc 1 is labeled the main feature, which has the 4 animated episodes in color and the 4 animated episodes in black and white. The surviving episodes aren't on that disc. They're on disc 2, which is called Special Features, which has a reconstruction of episode 1, a reconstruction of episode 4, though I have not gotten official clarification whether these are the same reconstructions from the DVD, and God, I hope not, because I've heard those are atrocious. And then the surviving episodes 2 and 3 are on that disc, along with some other bonuses like a making of, and I am looking forward to seeing that making of. But it's interesting. One, it's frustrating because I will probably watch this with the black and white animated episodes and the 2 surviving episodes from 1967, which means I will have to swap disc. I do not like having to swap disc to go from animation to the surviving episodes. It's annoying, but what ticks me off, and as I said, I went through a gauntlet of emotions here, and there was one point where I was actually very angry. Is when it finally occurred to me the mindset of the people who made this animation, or at least some of the people involved, maybe not everyone, but some of the people involved in this, is the fact that they seem to consider the surviving episodes, which again are half the story, to be afterthoughts, to be part of the special features. You can watch them if you want to, but they don't consider them part of the main feature, because the main feature only has the color and black and white versions of the animated episodes. And I find that a little offensive. Like, it's extremely disrespectful to the people who made the 1967 production, in my opinion. I think it's highly disrespectful to them and their memory. The fact that episodes 2 and 3 have had no additional restoration work done, according to Peter Crocker. I've been on the merchandise forum. I've told you guys before, one of the guys on the merchandise forum, Gordon, this guy knows his stuff. I take what he says as gospel. If he says something, if he's not sure, he'll mention he's not sure. If he says it flat out, it happened flat out. And he said, Peter Crocker specifically stated, no restoration work was done on episodes 2 and 3. Again, I haven't heard whether the reconstructions for episode 1 and 4 are new or old. They need to be new. But it just seems like that the team who did the animation for this episode approached it like it was a completely missing story, like the Macroterra or something like that, and just didn't even really pay attention to the surviving episodes. And that offends me. That irks me. Especially, it's different for something like, say, Abominable Snowmen, when it's only 1 episode out of 6 that exists. So I don't get really that bothered by the fact they switched up a lot of the stuff, especially considering some of the stuff they switched up, I agree with them switching up, like some of the casting choices and all that. But it still is a little jarring if you watch episode 2 of Abominable Snowmen, the surviving episode with the black and white animation. It's still a little jarring. because they changed some stuff. So I'm wondering how much changes in the animation here from the live action. Is it going to be jarring to go animation, surviving animation? Because if so, I'm going to be unhappy. Again, this isn't a story that's completely missing or a story that's partly missing. It's a story that's half complete. Half! And I feel like they're treating it like it's completely missing. It's almost like somebody involved thought it was completely missing and they were outlining what they wanted to do, and somebody was like, you do know half of the story's here, right? And they were like, oh, right. Well, we'll put that on the special features disc. The actual surviving episodes from 1967 are just, well, those are little just bonus what-if things. We're showing them the definitive version of the story with our Scooby-Doo cartoon animation. And so there actually was this point where I actually started to get mad. But then I calmed back down. And I realized that this isn't necessarily made just for me. Now, it's obviously made partially for me, someone who likes old Doctor Who, a classic Doctor Who fan. Because there will be so many different ways to watch this. With them animating all 4 episodes and doing them in color and in widescreen, you not only get the old school fans like us, a lot of you who watch Channel with me to watch it, this is also a great way of introducing it to a modern audience, a casual audience, a young audience, maybe people who just watch modern who would have a hard time watching something in black and white in 4:3, or a hard time watching an episode that shifts back and forth between animation and live action, like say Moonbase. I love the Moonbase, but if somebody was watching a Troughton story for the first time, I would recommend Tomb of the Cybermen over the Moonbase, because Tomb of the Cybermen is complete, even though I think Moonbase is a better story, because it could be jarring for someone to go from animation to live action, animation to live action, and I wouldn't do that to them for the first Troughton. So I could understand animating all 4 in that, and in color, and in that, so you could have an opportunity to appeal to the part of the fan base that might struggle with it otherwise. While at the same time, you also go ahead, since you've animated all of it for color, all you got to do is grayscale it. You give the black and white version of it if some people want to watch it all in black and white, all 4 animations, just to have a consistent viewing experience. And then you have the surviving episodes for those of us who, if they're surviving episodes, we want to see the surviving episodes. Although I'm still highly annoyed that it's on a different disc. They really need to fix that. So yeah, that's kind of my big issue. But at the same time, I get that this is being made to appeal to different parts of the fan base. The casual modern Who fans, maybe trying to dip their toe into classic Who, or dip their toe into the Troughton era. Those of us who, we just want the black and white episodes animated because we're going to watch the surviving episodes 2 and 3. And then maybe someone who wants to watch it in black and white, because that era is supposed to be seen in black and white, and hopefully they'll do the black and white ones in 4:3 like they have for some of them. But also want a consistent viewing experience, they might watch all of it in the black and white animation, which is also fine. So I've calmed down. I'm not as angry about it now. And then when I stopped and thought about it, I was like, you know what? We're getting more animations. I got to be happy for that. I'm not going to sit here and be huffy and puffy about it if we're getting the animations. It's nice they're coming. The trailer for it looks fine. I mean, it doesn't look the best in the world. It looks like a bit of a step down from Evil in my opinion, but it's a really short trailer, and they're probably still working on it, so I won't judge that until I've seen it. I want to know what the art is going to look like for the Steelbook and the standard releases. I've ordered the Steelbook already. Let me be clear, I have ordered this. Of course I've ordered this. I love adding a Doctor Who Steelbook to my shelf, and I do want to support this range as well. My biggest issue, and if they do this I will be annoyed, is how the Steelbooks have fallen into this common trope. You know, the Steelbooks used to do something different, which I liked. That's why I love the Power of the Daleks Steelbook. I love the Shada Steelbook, which one of my subscribers, JLBWHO, sent me a couple months ago. Is that they are different. It really started with Macroterra, which I do think is phenomenal. I love the Macroterra Steelbook. But after that, all of the Steelbooks have kind of fallen into this uninspired setup of, well, the front's going to have the TARDIS on it, and maybe either an enemy or the outline of an enemy, and then the back is either going to have enemies or the Doctor's facing away from the camera. The back is this of the Doctors and the companions. It's very uninspired. And I really would like to see the Underwater Menace Steelbook attempt to do something different. Instead of just being TARDIS on the front, enemies are the companions, Doctor on the back. Do something different with it. Give me some art that blows my mind and blows me away. Instead of it just being the same old, same old. I get it and I'll be like, well, it's good enough. It's going on the shelf. Also, I hope the standard art looks good, but the standard art's usually just kind of eh. So I'm curious to see what the art for it's going to look like. So, ultimately, while I have nitpicks with it, and I have relegated them to nitpicks at this point, I am excited about it. This will be the first time I've ever got to see Underwater Menace, and I will be watching it the first time with the black and white animated episodes and the surviving 2 episodes. So, animated black and white episode 1, surviving 2, surviving 3, animated black and white episode 4 will be how I view it the first time. I will be swapping disc, and I'm never going to let that go. That's the one thing that's slightly higher than nitpick. But I am excited about it. I really appreciate Ann and everyone involved for working on it. And I love the fact the range is continuing. I'm a huge fan of Season 4. It's my favorite Troughton season. So it is nice to see it one step closer toward being complete. And one step closer toward eventually, hopefully, getting that Season 4 box set. And hopefully the rumor's true about the Smugglers. And we get an announcement about the Smugglers soon. Because I have read the target novel of that recently. A review is coming for that, and I'm really excited to be able to see it in animated form. So the Underwater Menace, what do you think of it? Are you frustrated that they've animated the whole thing? Do you think they should have just animated the missing episodes? What do you think of the animation style? What do you think of what they might do with the Steelbook? Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It really does make a difference, especially in 2023. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you would like to send me to look at and review, which is how JLB sent me my Shot of Steelbook, which I appreciate. And a link to my Amazon wish list is on there as well. And we are also closing in on 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal to hit in 2023. We're at 970 as I record this. So if you enjoy my content, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Most importantly, thank you for watching.